What's up, veterans? VA Disability Guy here, and today's video is one you definitely don't want to miss because we're going to be talking about secondary conditions. A little while ago, I did a video on the top 10 most common VA disabilities claimed among veterans, and in that video, one of those was PTSD. And because PTSD is so common, I wanted to do a video on the top 5 secondary conditions related to PTSD. But
Wait a
before we get
second,
into
you pansy. There's something that you need to do. You forgot to tell them something very important. They need to do some things to ensure that YouTube spreads this information. Because it isn't just you or them that's watching that needs this information. So get to it and do the thing
right,
that you have to do.
so for those of you that haven't liked the video, go ahead and like the video. And if you're new to the channel, um, liking the video tells YouTube that this content is important, and therefore YouTube pushes it out to other veterans like yourself. So um, yeah, do me that favor and go ahead and like the video. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. And let's just get to today's content before I get yelled at some more. All right, y'all. So when it comes to a secondary condition, first thing first, you need to understand exactly what that is. All right. So a secondary condition is an additional disability or health issue connected to a primary disability for which you receive benefits from the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs. So in this situation, your primary disability would be your PTSD, and your secondary disability, which I'm going to go over 5 different ones, is going to be connected to it. All right. And then it also says it is caused by or aggravated by your primary disability, meaning your secondary issue or disability is either caused by PTSD or PTSD makes that issue worse. When you're applying for VA disability benefits, it is important to list any secondary conditions you may have in order to ensure that all of your disabilities are taken into account when assessing your claim. Meaning, make sure you list that secondary disability as soon as you're listing your primary one. So don't say, okay, I'm getting out of the military, I'm going to claim my PTSD, and then later on try to claim your secondary conditions. No, claim them right then and there. All right, y'all. So the first secondary condition that I want to talk about is erectile dysfunction. Studies have shown that erectile dysfunction, or ED, is a common side effect of PTSD experienced by veterans. This can be due to the fact that PTSD can cause physical and psychological responses such as anxiety and fear, which interfere with arousal and the ability to gain or maintain an erection. That's a big deal, all right? Those are, if you're experiencing those symptoms, that's how you would get a secondary claim for erectile dysfunction granted to you. Additionally, ED may be a result of other underlying issues associated with PTSD, such as depression, substance abuse, or chronic pain. All right, so ED or erectile dysfunction might be a result of those issues, which are symptoms of PTSD. So those are things to take into consideration. And once again, that's erectile dysfunction, one of the 5 common secondary conditions for PTSD. So the second most common secondary condition for PTSD is GERD, which I think stands for gastroesophageal reflux disease. But pretty much the physical symptoms of stress and anxiety associated with PTSD can lead to an increase in acid production in the stomach, causing GERD symptoms such as heartburn and acid reflux. So those are the symptoms of GERD, that heartburn and acid reflux. All right. Increased levels of cortisol and adrenaline also contribute to the decrease in stomach acid production, leading to further GERD symptoms. So this is going to be, like I said, your second most common secondary condition related to PTSD. And coming up in the third spot is hypertension, aka high blood pressure. And this is due to the emotional and physical strain associated with PTSD, which can lead to changes in the cardiovascular system, such as increased heart rate and heightened blood pressure levels. Furthermore, other conditions often linked with PTSD, such as depression and substance abuse, may also contribute to the elevated blood pressure levels. So, hypertension, if you didn't know it, aka high blood pressure, can be linked to PTSD. So, for those of you with PTSD, if you got hypertension, more than likely it may have been caused by your PTSD. All right, number 4, and we're almost done with this one, right? So, migraines, and I talk about this one a lot on this channel because migraines is a killer, bro. Like, when I say I get these like 4 times a week, it's insane. And they completely take you out the game. But migraines, studies have shown that veterans suffering from PTSD are more likely to experience chronic migraines than members of the general population. This can be attributed to the heightened levels of stress and anxiety associated with PTSD, which can lead to tension in the neck or head area and cause migraines. Other conditions often linked with PTSD, such as depression and substance abuse, may also contribute to migraine development. So, those of you that have PTSD, if you're finding yourself getting migraines consistently, if you didn't claim it initially, then go ahead and pursue your secondary claim for your migraines. All right, number 5, y'all, sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is often linked to PTSD in veterans because the two conditions share many of the same symptoms. These can include difficulty sleeping, fatigue, and other issues that can interfere with healthy functioning. Sleep apnea can also be exacerbated by stress, which is a common symptom of PTSD, leading to more severe symptoms that can further impair daily life for veterans suffering from both issues. Sleep apnea is also a big deal, and I'll be making a video soon specifically on sleep apnea and explaining how I got my percentage for sleep apnea. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So for those of you that have PTSD, if you're looking into claiming those secondary disabilities like migraines, I have a video that I recently did on my channel about migraines specifically. Also, for those of you that have sleep apnea, I'll be doing a video on sleep apnea specifically very soon. And for those of you interested in seeing that video about the top 10 most common VA disabilities among veterans, you can check it out here as well. So as I always say, take care of yourself and take care of those around you. And until next time, peace. Oh yeah, and before I forget, or whoever that guy was yells at me again, please like the video if you haven't done so. And for those of you that are new, subscribe to the channel. You won't regret it. All right. See you later.